What up, dude? Welcome to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Kurt Steele. On today's show, we are doing our NFL Combine preview show for the Detroit Lions. But please do us a quick favor. Like this video, share this video, and comment on the video. If you enjoy the content, man, and you keep coming back and you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 3,000 subscribers, and we are currently at 2,743. And we have channel memberships now. So make sure you check it out. It's another way to help us grow this content. You get those, some custom emojis for the live chats and the live stream. So make sure you check that out. But if you're new to the channel, but I got to do something else first. I got to bring in my co-host for today's show, man. First up, it is the hardest working man down there in Jackson, Michigan. He be cutting fades. He be handing out fades. He be writing rhymes. He be coaching kids. He be cooking meals. And he got a gang of kids to boot. Is my man, the Wolverine, who?
It's my day off of work. Y'all better stop playing with me. Coach Mike Jones, what's going on, Lion fans?
Man, it's a never day off when you got kids, man. Y'all know who it is, man. It's the creator and sole proprietor of the Tupperware T-shirt exchange. If you need to know what that is, you can just directly message LL Cool Tones, and he will make sure, ladies, make sure he will inform you of what all that entails. But he's the ladies' pet. That means regret. You ain't seen nothing yet. That big player from Yaktown, LL Cool Tones. What's going on, my dude?
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday morning.
Man, y'all know what it is. It's hump day, baby. Now, if you're new to the channel, you don't know how the show works. We look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they're our boss up. If we disagree, we say they're our ball on, and we give our reasons why we agree or disagree. No hot takes here. We just don't be talking to be talking. You know, then we'll be making arguments up just to sound, let's argue about this. Nah, man, it's natural debate. It's organic. It's our true thoughts and opinions about what's going on with our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. And if you don't know it's natural, please look at LL's face when he hears something he don't like, because he going to tell you 100% it's some BS in his mind. So make sure you check that out during the show, man. All right. So for today's show, man, what we're going to do, we're going to do a kind of a combine preview. We're going to look at some players and positions that the Lions could be looking at during this draft. And you might pay attention to during the draft, during the combine as well. Okay, so for this week, let's kind of take a look at the schedule of the NFL Combine, because, you know, it's good to know, like, who's going to be on what days. So when we talk about what positions or what days you're going to be looking at, we want to know what day you're going to be having to tune in to see these players or positions out there on the field. So Thursday, starting tomorrow, you're going to have defensive linemen and linebackers. Friday, we're going to have the defensive backs and tight ends. Saturday, you're going to have quarterback, wide receivers, and running backs. And then the big fellas come back on Sunday with the offensive linemen. Thursday and Friday start at 3 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday start at 1 p.m. Some of those groups are some of the bigger groups for the combine. And you just got to check it out, man, because it could be things that's going down. You're going to see some of the Lions coaching staffs are going to be there. You already know yesterday you had Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes do their press conference yesterday. So go check it out on the Lions YouTube channel. So they both spoke yesterday. Kelvin Shepard gave an interview about the combine as well. So we have some media members from the local Detroit Lions beat writers out there as well. So go check out everything with the combine, because it's going to be a part of the shape of the Lions' future, especially in the next season or so. So let's kind of get into it for me. I looked at this draft and I looked at some of the draft needs, right? And for my position, I took offensive guard or interior lineman, right? Because you look at what the Lions had going on last season, right? So going into the offseason, the Lions had one principal need just on the offensive side of the ball, because I don't think they need a lot else on the offensive side of the ball besides an interior lineman, particularly an offensive guard position. Now, I hate to say it because he's my dude. I like this guy, but Graham Glasgow is aging terribly, man. He did not have a great season at left guard. The previous season at right guard and at center, he had a good season. But when he moved over to left guard, when Kevin Zeitler came in, his play just dropped. And Kevin Zeitler played well last year, but he got injured at the end of the season. And that dude, but I think he's 35. And he could be on his way downhill. Of course, injuries, when you get up there in age, I've never really been down on offensive linemen when they get older because a lot of them can play well into the late 30s and early 40s because they rely more on technique at that age than they do like physical presence. But and Zeitler has said he wants to play next season. I don't know if it's going to be in Detroit. Now, the other thing at offensive guard that happened last year was Christian Mahogany, man. He spent most of the year on the non-football illness list. But when he came in at the end of the year, when he stepped in for Zeitler, that dude was getting it in. As like, what did you call him, LL? Strebo.
Big Strebo.
He was doing his thing. So for the offensive line, seeing how they got the production out of Christian Mahogany, they may decide to go younger and take a guard or interior lineman in this draft. So the offensive linemen, like I said, they're going to be the last group to go on Sunday. So you might want to, sit around on Sunday afternoon at that 1:00 time frame and watch some of those on-field drills for the offensive linemen at the combine on Sunday. Now, one player for me now, because I don't really have a grasp on all the draft picks yet that's out there, but I did kind of take a look at a guy that the Lions could be on the watch for, and it's guard Tyler Booker out of Brad Holmes' favorite school, Alabama. Because that's his favorite. Yeah. That dude been drafting people out of Alabama for the last three drafts. He's been picking Alabama. Booker is a massive dude, man. 6'5", 352, and he's projected to be a high second round pick. So if Holmes is to try to kind of look for this guy, he may have to trade up in the draft, which he's not. That's not nothing unnormal for him. He does that all the time. So he may trade up the draft if he's there. Now, LL, you might like this. His pro comparison is a guy you wanted the Lions to draft a couple years ago, I think last year, Osiris Torrance. That's his pro comp. So looking at him and looking at what he could bring to the team. Now, I will say this. He is a role grader in the run game. However, does have some issues with his feet in the pass game, but I don't think there's anything that Hank Fraley can get past. Hank Fraley can coach up young players, man. So,
having some rope.
Yeah. So, offensive guard. What do you guys think about the Lions potentially scouting some offensive guards at the combine?
I think that's absolutely. Oh, hold on. Let me get you a boss up real quick because I think that absolutely. Especially if they stay at 28. If they stay at 28, it's best player available. And, this is a copycat league. I think a lot of edges will go early on because they've seen Patrick Mahomes running around for his life in the Super Bowl, and that's how you beat the Chiefs. So a guard is a very, very, very likely scenario if the Lions stay at 28. Yeah, man. I don't know much about the guy, but he sounds like he's a massive human being. Like he's like a Frank Ragnow on steroids. So, I feel it. We got to get younger at O-line. That's our bread and butter. That's where this team starts. It's kind of almost like the old Dallas Cowboys. Like that offensive line is everything. We don't have an O-line, we don't have nothing. And I just think, Glasgow, it's time for you to be the backup to the backup, bro. Like you need to go on backup Ragnow, backup whatever guard spot. And man, I'm with it, man. If that guy, I haven't really looked deeply in his draft profile, but if that guy is what he sound like, I can see him taking him.
Yeah, and you look at a team like Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have that guy like Zach Martin just announced his retirement. So, offensive linemen, those interior guards are going to be at a premium because you got teams that are going to be looking for them. You're going to have a team probably like Kansas City looking for some offensive linemen because they just played so terribly in the Super Bowl. But what you got, LL, on the Lions looking at guards doing interior linemen during this NFL Combine this weekend?
100%. And I do you one better, a little bit more specific. Interior linemen that could play multiple positions, like a guard center, perhaps. I was trying to look at the name. I have been looking at names for like the past week or so. I don't remember exactly who it is. I think it is the guy out of Georgia, though, Jared Wilson, who's projected to play guard and center. And it's just for what Coach Mike just said, what both of you guys just said, but the age of the offensive line. But Coach Mike said Frank Ragnow, he called his name in particular. That's who this guy might be in, next in line for, because Ragnow, he playing with half his toes on his foot and broke and ripped up arms and or he ripped up chest parts and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how much longer he gonna want to keep doing that. So and then, who knows? He may keep going. We've been talking about retirement. I don't know if he has. The only thing we got from him was saying that he wants to play as long as Frank Haley is still coaching, or he don't want to play without Frank Haley as his coach.
Hank Fraley.
Sorry, I keep doing that. Hank Fraley. Yeah. So number one, to answer your question, guard and guard center, somebody who could play both of those, and maybe a name like Jared Wilson out of Georgia.
All right, so you act like Frank Ragnow is so old, man. You know how old Frank Ragnow is?
27, 26.
28. Yeah, 28. You had it right. He just had a birthday. 28. He's not old. I will say this. I have to agree with you. He is a beat up. That dude, that's the most beat up 28-year-old center in the league because he's been playing with, like you say, half a toe. He's going to be trying to play like Deion Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Be out there with his toe. But he grinds it out, man. But I get it. I think that you want to get younger, especially at the other guard position. And writing's on the wall. Decker just signed his extension, but he gonna be. I think that's gonna be the last contract he has in Detroit. So that's just what. And I don't even know if they're gonna move. They might draft a left tackle, not this year, but maybe in a couple coming years. I don't think you want to move Penei Sewell to the to the left side. I'm not sure. They might not. You know what I'm saying? Of course, as he's an all-pro right tackle, you might want to leave him over there. I'm just saying.
He'd be an all-pro at both positions.
Yeah, Tyron Smith.
Or like what's my man out of Tampa too, Wirfs. He's been an all-pro at right and left tackle. Might as well. He can do it. Might as well. He's the highest paid. I think he's the highest paid tackle in the league. So not saying that should dictate, but might as well.
Oh, yes, it did. Yes, it should.
Yeah, I'll feel y'all, man. Hey, man, like this video, share the video, and comment on the video, man. And shout out to my dude, Geronimo, hanging out with us on the Boss Up All Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. All right, so Coach Jones, man, what position are you looking at the Lions should be looking at this weekend?
So I have to look at the most pressing need of the Detroit Lions, and that is the edge. Them edge rushers, and they are deep. But in this draft, you want to get a day one starting caliber defensive end, not just a good defensive end. You want somebody that can come right in. He can start on the other side of the hutch. If barring we don't do anything that I think we're gonna do, but you know what I'm saying. I ain't gonna say no names. But let's look at three guys real quick that that people have been talking about. I've been seeing. I think people be stalking our videos, man, and they be looking at them, and because all of a sudden these names just be popping up out of nowhere. But so let me go on and get to Michael Williams, man, out of Georgia. Man, this dude right here, I've said it before, man. He is a monster. I feel like he's probably the second most complete edge rusher and run pass to Carter out of Penn State. I think it's like Abdul Carter out of Penn State. Yeah. So, but Michael Williams, man, he is 6'5", 265. So he's a big dude. He runs a 4.65. He's really good at stopping a run and getting to the passer. I'm talking about he can get to the passer. That's a guy that, you know what, if you need a complete guy and you're looking for a day one starter, that's what I look to. But you're gonna have to trade up for him. I think he's gonna go in the top probably 13, 14 picks. So I don't know if that's something that Brad want to give up, but that's, moving up to get that edge is key. That's very, very critical. And I think you might have to throw in a third round pick and probably like a late round pick next year or something like that to move up and get him, man. But that's possible. Another guy is a guy that a lot of analysts been mocking to us, and that's Mike Green out of Marshall. Mike Green is 6'3". He's 251 pounds. I've seen from 245 to 251. So he's more of that Derek Barnes type of edge. And you guys know that Derek Barnes might be out of here. He might be going somewhere. So that's a guy who can play both roles, who can play Sam linebacker and edge. He has that versatility. He runs a 4.57. I can't wait to see him at the combine and see what how he's moving and because he's a guy who can move laterally, and that's something that we definitely need on the edge. Yeah, man. And then this last guy, who I happen to like now, I can say because the season's over. I couldn't say it before in the season because what I'm saying, because he goes to this one school.
I already know.
But Jack Sawyer, man, Jack Sawyer that's a guy who can play the edge. He can play just like he's not as good right now, but he can play similar to what Hutchinson plays. He can play that stand up edge at times. He can play in the 3-point because he's 6'5", 260, runs a 4.6. He's a complete player and he's a versatile player as well. And the reason why I picked these guys is because they're all versatile. Like Mikael Williams, he can go from the 4-eye to the standing edge. Mike Green can play with his hand in dirt, stand up edge. He can play outside linebacker, and Jack Sawyer can do the same thing. So I don't know, man, what y'all got, man. These are just three guys I picked out. Just because I've been hearing some rumbles about him, even though I started the one on Michael Williams. But Jack Sawyer, man, yeah, I like him, man, because I really do think if we trade up and we do not stay at 28, we're getting the edge, like hands down. I believe that, but I believe if we stay at 28, we're gonna get a guard. So, what do y'all think about these three guys? And do you have another guy maybe in your mind that you see playing for the Detroit Lions?
I like the three guys because the one guy everybody would want is not going to be available by the time the Lions pick, and that's Abdul Carter. I mean, that guy's an absolute beast out there at Penn State. Sawyer, yeah, I like Sawyer. Is he my favorite? Probably not. I'd rather go with a proven commodity right now. But I mean, if you're gonna pick a guy who has a high motor and is versatile. I like those guys. And one guy, I'm not saying I agree with this, but the one guy that Mel Kiper mocked to us is outside linebacker Olawufemi Joe. Okay. So guy, you look at this guy and he's on that lighter type side. He's like 6'3", 250. So that's around that Derek Barnes type of area, but you got to look at these guys. Their body hasn't matured yet. So he's only 22, 23, something like that. So you get him, put some weight on him. You know what I'm saying? So maybe not. Well, I mean, we'll see. But as far as looking at, these guys, yeah, I mean, edge is definitely a need, and if you can address it and get younger and not have to pay an exorbitant amount for a guy, he can kind of grow a hutch. I get it, but Lions are in a win now mode. So, but Brad Holmes kind of shot some stuff down yesterday. He kind of was like, I wouldn't bet on it. That's what he said. He said I wouldn't bet on it. So, it may be somebody that they're scouting in the draft that they want to bring in. So, or maybe a lower tier free agent to bring in to the roster. So, but I like the edge position, man. So yeah, I get you. What you got, LL?
Coach Mike, I give you a boss up because it's the thought that counts. But them players, I don't know. And this is my thoughts on Abdul Carter. I think he's living off of Michael Parsons. Honestly, I don't know what he's going to be in the league, but I think he's getting a lot of hype because of that number and because of the school he went to. Michael Williams, if that's how you say it, he probably won't be around. Wouldn't mind it though if you trade up for him. Would not mind it though. Allegedly, there was rumblings that there might have been a trade up for Jared Verse last year, but he ended up going before I guess the spot that they wanted to trade up to, and also they may have they was targeting Quinyon Mitchell as well, but two different positions, but just the propensity to trade up. So Michael Williams may not be such a pipe dream or a thought in the clouds. But you said Jack Sawyer, Coach Mike. I give you his teammate. I don't like Jack Sawyer at all. I don't really think he's that good a football player. And then he showed what kind of person he is. At the end of that game, I want to call him a lot of cuss words, but I ain't. It's Black History Month too, but his teammate though, JTT, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Tuamalu, if I'm saying that right. I like him. He reminds me a lot of the guy who I was calling his name, I believe it was last year, out of USC, and that's I don't remember how to Tuli. They call him Tuli, but he versatile. Played bigger in college, played inside and outside, but he's doing the same thing in the league. Kind of like what's my man, Lord Zed, or I'm not as big, but like the commish, John Kaminsky. Playing inside, outside. But JTT has a lot of that. He goes 6'5", 269. You probably won't have to trade up for him. Drafting him that high, I don't really know. Some people may say that's a reach or whatever. I don't really know what constitutes that most times, but I think he is a better football player than that guy, than his other teammate. But the guy that you had mentioned, Kurt, I've been hearing a little bit about him. I watched a little bit on him already, and that's the only reason I thought I knew how to say his last name. So I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I've heard other people say his name.
Yeah,
I Joe.
I tore that up.
I might be tearing it up too, but he's kind of more so like what we like. Like same thing with JTT. The thing that stick out with this guy is his hands. He got real violent hands. He hit people in the chest, and he know how to right either interior or the offensive line, attacking the shoulder parts, all that kind of stuff. What he's supposed to do. His hands is real violent. I really like him. He goes after it, and he'll knock you out. So, those are some names that I would like to, those are some names that, or that was the name I'm going to offer is JTT out of Ohio State. That's Jack Sawyer's teammate.
Okay. Hey, man, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us with this content. It gets it out to more Lions fans like yourself, man. We appreciate you tuning in right here at the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. Make sure you check out our brothers over and sisters over at Lions Nation Unite, man. So check us out over there as well. I post some content over there, man. And Herman Moore, how he gets down over there. So bringing you more content over there as well. So make sure you check me out over there. And of course, Coach Jones with his Beyond the Ropes podcast playlist on this channel, because he be going beyond the ropes talking about boxing. And then of course, man, you got to check out LL's Instagram page, because you know what it is. Today is Thursday Eve, baby. You know how you get down. All right, LL, what position are you looking at, man, for the Lions to be scouting this weekend at the Combine?
Well, I'm gonna continue on the defensive side of the ball, and let's look at The big guys, more so the interior defensive linemen, maybe. It's supposed to be a very deep draft there. I don't really know if we necessarily have a need at the moment. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple people and, some people coming back. But it's always good to have depth. And this is a deep draft, so I don't really know if it'll be smart to take one early, since it will be other ones later. But one name in particular, he's right up the road, and that's Kenneth Grant, right out of Michigan. I think he will be available. He'll just be sitting there for us to snatch him up, and he'll be I think he could come in and be what I want Roger Martin to be, right off the bat, just come in. He's stronger at the point of attack, that kind of stuff. His hands is kind of crazy as well. Like, you've seen it. If you watch Michigan football, him and Mason Graham been tearing people up inside, and he's a big dude as well. Mason Graham gets all the pub and everything, but when you know how they go with with the two defensive tackles, is one getting off, and one is letting him get off, in my opinion. So, and Kenneth Grant in this case was the one who was letting Mason Graham get off. So I wouldn't mind seeing him as a Detroit Lion. Rather he could play next to whoever, rather that be DJ Reader, Elaine McNeil, or put him in with, if Levi comes back, he could play with him. He could play with Roger Martin as well. So that's just one name out there, Kenneth Grant. It's been a few people out there, other defensive linemen. Shamar Stewart, he's more so a defensive end type, but he's big, just like it seems like the guys like him. He's 6'6", 290. He's pretty violent as well. And he's out of Texas A&M. I don't know if I said that. I did say Mason Kenneth Grant out of Michigan, and Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. But do you guys have any names out there that you are looking for on the interior of the defensive line?
I just want to say real quick, if Kenneth Grant is available at 28, Brad Holmes, you better go and make that pick, man. Go and call him. Cause I seen that video, man. Cause I seen the play live, but when they showed the replay of him running all the way downfield to catch that running back from behind, this is about 25, 30 yards downfield, and he's like 340 pounds. So, man, if that happens, man, I would. Brad Holmes, please go get him. If Kenneth Grant fall to 28, please go get him.
Just because what you mentioned, not the same player at all, but that was kind of the thing about Vita Vea, like his like when they was talking about him, like just how his pursuit, like how he would run people down. So,
yeah, looking at Grant, I like Grant, definitely. That's a name, and that's not just being a Michigan homer because we're all Michigan guys on this channel. Here's one thing that could speed up a clock on a defensive tackle pick for the Lions. We don't know when we're going to get Elaine McNeil back. Now, we don't know if it was a complete tear or a partial tear of his ACL. We don't know if he's going to be ready to start the season. So we may have a need at defensive tackle.
I seen something saying October.
Yeah. So looking at that, we may not get him back soon. And that may push the envelope for either to bring in a younger player or re-sign Levi, or saying it could be that maybe speeding that clock up for a defensive tackle. So, because I don't think any of those guys right now are as good as the dream, but it can be a situation where it pushes the clock up on a defensive tackle. So yeah, I agree with you on those two young fellas, man, especially with Kenneth Grant, man. If he's there, like Coach Jones said, man, you take him. Or if he slips into the second round, you definitely move up and take him, because it's definitely a baller, man. And you know that you can slot him in as DJ Reader slides out and maybe retires or go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to, demand that much money. So, but yeah, I get with that 100%.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you have to pull the trigger. If Kenneth Grant is there at 28, forget everything that I said before. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, go get him. I think he's projected for as a second round pick. Actually,
really,
man, I thought he was a first round.
Yeah,
he was the first round pick. But if he don't get him, Brad.
Most mocks I didn't say. I know it's just mock drafts, but a lot of people got him going before the Lions. So
okay,
well, no, that's just mock drafts. Yeah,
mock drafts, and I just looked at Mel Kiper's. I didn't see his name in the first round.
It's I be looking, did like what's the NFL Network and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because you get different. What do you call that? You get different as far as rankings and stuff. And right now, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I like Kenneth Grant, man. Definitely, if he's there anywhere around where the Lions could pick him, I agree with you guys. I think the Lions should to go ahead and take him.
Go on and move up. Moving on now.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because you can trade or get or sign a veteran defensive. And some people are saying that, they want to see what Za'Darius can do with Aiden Hutchinson. So, and he's made his wishes known that he wants to stay and play in Detroit. So, I mean, we'll see. Yeah. And with the Browns GM saying that absolutely not, we're not trading. We're not trading the big fella. They're not trading Myles Garrett. We'll see what's going to happen with that. But a lot of GMs say that's all that stuff until all that compensation come in and they say, right. Oh, okay, we'll trade them now. But hey, man, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. All these things help us to get this content to more Detroit Lions fans like yourself. Make sure you do us a favor and you got to follow the crew on your favorite social media platforms. Like I said, all the time. Coach Jones does a great job over there on Overline Sports Talk. I post content from this channel on all of my social media networks. And, of course, it is Thursday Eve because it's hump day, baby. And make sure you holler at LL tomorrow over there on his Instagram page, especially when he puts those overalls on and we farm them yams. All right, man. Now it's time for our final thoughts for today's show. Coach Jones, what you got?
Yeah, so I'm getting ready for something that's big this weekend when it comes to coaches. The Glacier Football Clinic is this week. This weekend. I can't wait to go. That's where coaches from Michigan State, Toledo, maybe like Louisville, they all come together. Probably, and then like the best high school coaches, they all come together. They have seminars. We'll be at probably the DoubleTree Hotel or something like that in Novi, and they'll rent out all the conference rooms, and they'll have sessions all day long for the whole weekend, man. And you can go in, and you can hear schemes and thought process and concepts of your position because they'll have different meetings going on at the same time, man. So I can't wait for that. I get excited for that Glacier Clinic, man. A couple NFL, people come out there too, man, and they'll give you some more insight and some things that you need to do. So I'm getting ready for that Glacier Clinic. I can't wait. That touched me right there, man. But just have a good day, man. Be nice to people, be kind to people. And if you got to, every now and then, you might have to put your hands on somebody. I'm just saying.
Okay. Coach Mike chooses violence on a Wednesday. All right, what you got, LL?
Well, happy Wednesday morning, everybody. Have a great day. And I just take this time to toot my own horn because, sometimes they say if you don't toot your own horn, there'll be no music. But and that's just this time of year. And everybody's doing it. We just calling out names. But some of the names that I've been calling out these past few years are major contributors in the NFL. So I ain't going, go back and, just bring that up. I mean, we'll bring back maybe I will. Somebody like Travis Jones or like JTT or, just players like that. What's Diane Henley? Just to name a few, but, just players that we, name that are going on to be starters and major contributors on these playoff teams and stuff like that. So, maybe this year, hopefully, some of the names that we've been saying going to do that again, like JTT and Michael Williams. Well, we already know, those, but Michael Williams probably will be, but, just some of these guys that we saying. So keep your eyes peeled out there, man. Sometimes we know what we be talking about.
Yeah, definitely. For me, man, have a great day, man. Have a great Wednesday. Enjoy your work week. I know Wednesday gets a little hard, man, because you're in that middle of the week grind, but make sure if you're having a good day, make sure you spread that joy. You never know when a small, kind word can make a person's day. If you're not having a good day, don't sit on else's joy. And you know what you got to do for your man, Kurt Steele. Whatever you're doing, like you got to boss up. ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. With my fellas, LL Cool Torrance and Coach Mike Jones, this is Kurt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.